Welcome to the deep dive. Ever think about your favorite movie? That whole experience.
Yeah, the story, the visuals.
Exactly. And it all starts small, right? Just an idea.
It's just a spark.
So today we're going to trace that whole journey from that initial idea, that spark, all the way through to the premiere.
It's quite a complex path.
Definitely. So if you're a film lover, or maybe thinking about filmmaking yourself, or even just, curious,
Then this should be really interesting.
our goal here is to give you a clear, kind of engaging look at all the key stages. We're drawing on some great material that breaks it all down step by step.
It's fascinating how something abstract, like an idea, becomes this concrete thing people watch. And that transformation, it really begins in development.
Okay, development. Let's jump in there. It starts with a story. Sounds simple, but I guess this is where the film's whole identity is formed.
Absolutely. That initial concept, maybe a what if or a character or just a moment, that's where writers, directors, producers start working.
They start shaping it.
Yeah, shaping it into a story, a narrative. And the main thing coming out of this phase is the screenplay.
The script, the blueprint for everything.
Exactly, the blueprint. But, it's rarely done in one go. That script often goes through tons of rewrites, lots of feedback.
And why is that so crucial? Why all the rewriting?
Well, early drafts might have, say, great characters, but the plot doesn't quite work, or maybe a brilliant idea isn't really landing on the page yet.
Oh, well,
So rewrites are about finding that core story, making sure every scene actually does something, building those character arcs.
it's more than just typing words then.
Oh.
You sometimes need to, show the vision, don't you?
Yeah.
I've heard about visual things. Pitch decks.
Spot on, especially when you're trying to get funding or studio support. A visual presentation can make a huge difference.
So what are those exactly, pitch decks?
Right, a pitch deck is sort of like a visual argument for the film, maybe a slideshow, outlining the story, who it's for, the team, maybe even some financial projections.
Got it. And lookbooks.
Lookbooks are more about the feel, the visual style. Mood boards, reference photos, anything that conveys the aesthetic you're going for.
Makes sense.
And particularly for indie filmmakers, this development stage is also where you're scrambling to secure the funding and the rights if your story's based on, a book or something.
All right, you can't move forward without that groundwork.
Yeah,
Money and rights.
exactly. Those have to be in place.
Okay, so you've got the story nailed down. Hopefully the money's coming together. What's the next major phase?
That takes us right into pre-production. We call it planning the dream.
Planning the dream. I like that.
Yeah, once the script is locked, funding secure, then the really intensive planning kicks off. It's like mapping out a huge expedition.
Okay, so what kind of intense planning are we talking about? What are the key things that happen here?
Oh, it's a lot. Casting is huge. Finding the perfect actors.
Right.
At the same time, you're scouting locations, finding them, securing permission to film there.
That sounds like a job in itself.
It is. And then visually planning the shoot. Storyboards are big here, like comic book versions of key scenes. And detailed shot lists, planning every single camera setup.
Wow.
And this is when key crew members usually come on board, your director of photography or DP.
The person responsible for the whole look.
Exactly. Camera, lighting, movement, how it feels visually. Then the production designer.
Sets, costumes, the whole world of the film.
Yep, the whole look and feel. And the assistant director, or AD, who's absolutely vital for just running the set day to day. Logistics.
Okay, that sounds like a massive amount of coordination. Is there ever a danger of, planning too much? Does it kill the spontaneity later?
That's a really good point. There's definitely a balance. I mean, the goal of pre-pro is to head off problems during the actual shoot because time is money then.
Right.
But yeah, good filmmakers know they need some flexibility. You plan meticulously, but you stay open to those unexpected moments on set. The planning gives you a solid base, not handcuffs. And critically, this is also when you finalize the budget, down to the penny, and create the production schedule. That dictates exactly what gets shot, when, and where.
Got it. So the plan is locked and loaded. Now comes the part everyone imagines, right?
Yeah.
The actual filming.
That's it. Production phase, lights, camera, action. This is where all that planning pays off, hopefully, and the cameras actually roll.
That must be pretty exciting.
It is, but also incredibly demanding. It's often described as, a whirlwind, intense creative energy.
So paint a picture for us. What's a typical day on set like during production?
Well, you've got the director obviously guiding the vision, working with the actors on performance.
The creative lead?
Yeah. Then the cinematographer, the DP, is making the visual decisions, shot-by-shot lighting, camera moves.
Working closely with the director, presumably?
Absolutely. And the actors, of course, bringing those characters off the page. But it's this huge team effort.
Yeah.
You've got sound mixers getting clean audio, grips, managing camera gear, rigging, plus costumes, makeup, catering, transport, tons of people.
Sounds like controlled chaos.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it sometimes. Very focused, usually very fast-paced. Every minute costs money, so efficiency is key.
So much pressure.
Definitely. But this is where the story really starts to, become real. Through the performances, through the visuals being captured.
Okay, so they shoot everything. They get all this footage in the can, as they say. Filming wraps, movie's done.
Oh, not even close. Now comes post-production. Shaping the story.
Shaping the story.
Yeah, this is where you take all that raw material, all those shots, and you actually craft the final film. It's often a quieter phase than production, more solitary perhaps, but just as crucial.
Okay, so what are the main jobs in post-production? What happens?
Editing is the big one. The editor works with the director, taking all the footage, deciding which takes to use, the order of scenes, the length of shots, basically building the narrative structure.
Setting the pace, the rhythm.
Exactly. Then there's sound design. That's everything from cleaning up dialogue recorded on set to adding sound effects, ambient noise, Foley, building the whole soundscape.
Right, and visual effects, if the movie needs them.
Yep. VFX are created and integrated here. Then color grading, adjusting the colors shot by shot for consistency, for mood.
Making it all look unified.
Precisely. And finally, the music score is composed and mixed in to, heighten the emotion.
It sounds like just layer upon layer of refinement.
It really is. And sometimes during post, they might hold test screenings, get feedback from an audience.
And they might actually change things based on that.
Oh, yeah. They might re-edit scenes, sometimes even do reshoots if something really isn't working or needs clarification.
Wow, even that late in the game.
Absolutely. The film isn't truly finished until the director signs off, gives their final approval. That means the vision is complete.
Okay. So, after all that, the film is finally done. How does it get from there to us watching it?
That brings us to the last major stage, distribution, sharing it with the world.
And this is often talked about as being really tough, right?
It absolutely is a huge challenge. Making the film is one mountain to climb. Getting people to actually see it is another.
So what are the main ways films get out there?
Well, there are a few key routes. Film festivals are a big one, especially for independent films. It's a way to get reviews, build buzz, maybe attract a distributor.
Okay.
Then there's securing a deal with a distributor who handles theatrical release, or increasingly, a deal with a streaming service.
Like Netflix, Amazon, etc.
Exactly. That gives you access to a huge potential audience right away.
There.
Or some filmmakers go the self-distribution route, especially indies, handling it themselves through specific platforms or channels.
But just getting it on a platform isn't enough, is it? There's so much content.
No, you're right. Marketing is absolutely vital. You need effective campaigns.
Trailers.
Compelling trailers, yeah. Posters, social media buzz, maybe public relations, getting critics to review it. You have to connect the film with the people who might want to see it.
Otherwise, even a great film could just disappear.
Sadly, yes. Without a solid distribution strategy and marketing push, it's very hard to cut through the noise and find that audience.
Wow. So there it is. From just a thought, an idea, all the way through development, planning, shooting, shaping, and finally, sharing. It's an incredibly complex journey.
It really is. Often takes years. And like we've touched on, it's so collaborative. It relies on hundreds of people, different skills, all working towards that one initial vision.
It's amazing anything ever gets finished, really.
Yeah. But despite all the hurdles, the creative challenges, the logistics, it's that desire to tell stories, to connect with an audience that keeps people doing it.
It's clearly a passion-driven industry. So thinking about all these stages we've walked through, development, pre-pro, the shoot itself, post-production, getting it seen, what single part of making a film strikes you as the most maybe unexpectedly difficult, the bit people might underestimate? And why might that be? Definitely something to think about next time you're watching a movie.